What's up, everybody? I'm gonna do a quick blues guitar lesson right now. Okay, so look, you're in the house. You're like, what can I do? You've watched Netflix, you've watched this, you've watched that, you've watched movies, you've listened to music, you've done this, but that guitar is sitting over there in the corner. You haven't touched it in 4 years. Okay, you bought it maybe, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna learn, and then you just never did, right? So let's fix that right now. Okay. So I can't teach you everything, but I can teach you blues, right? And the blues is a wonderful thing. Playing it is actually your it's like part of American legacy that goes back to Africa, right? And modern music would not exist without blues, right? From everything from jazz to funk to rock, you know, there are so many elements of it, right? Okay, so anyway, so let's dive in. Okay, I'm gonna go very basic. Okay, um, the first things first is you need to tune your guitar. So if you have a tuner, tune it. All right. If you don't, then this is what your E. Well, okay. Let's do it like this, right? So maybe you don't know that in E tuning, okay, you have an E, you have an A, you have a D, you have a G, you have a B, and then an E. Once again, right? So from top up here to the bottom down here, right? It's it's E, A, D, G, B, E, right? So let's tune. So your E should sound something like this, right? Your A should sound like this. Might not be exactly 440 tuned, but it's close enough, right? Well, I'm sorry, this was D right here, right? And if you need to, pause the video and come back, right? Then G and B, that was still G. Now B, and then E. Again, that might not be exactly on the note, but close enough, right? Deal is this, okay? Now, we're going to begin with an A chord. Right now, there's probably 50 different chords you can play, with an A. I mean, there's a major, there's a minors, there's 7 chords, there's nine chords, there's 6, there's 11, there's a bunch of different stuff. Okay, but to keep it simple, this is just a basic A chord, right? So what you want to do is you want to go to the 2nd fret, right? Now the 2nd fret is up here. Well, okay, let's make sure that you understand these are all frets. So it's the area in between this metal right here. This is the fret. Okay? So you have 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, I believe. Okay. Yeah, and so we want to be at the second fret, right? And then what you want to do is, it's an A chord, right? And so that means that the lowest note of this chord will be an A, right? And then you want to play the D string on the second fret. So you're going to take your index finger, you're going to place it on the D, which is just underneath the A. This is the D string here. But when you fret it, it sounds like this. So this is open, but this is fretted. Okay, now you want to take your middle finger and put that right underneath on the G string, right? So this is it open, and this is it fretted, right? Now, what you want to do is you want to make sure that the fat part of the tips of your fingers, this stuff right here, the fat part is directly on it so that you get maximum space. Now, if you're muting it because you can't quite wedge your fingers in there, that's perfectly normal, right? Don't worry about it, okay? But then what you want to do is with your ring finger, you want to put that on the second fret also. And like, understand, you're going to be like, but it's so crowded up there, I don't know if it can fit. And yeah, it's going to take a little maneuvering, but eventually it'll be right. Okay, so, but have faith. So anyway, this is the B open, and this is the B fretted. Open, fretted. Okay. Now your picking action, okay, is like this, right? And we'll actually practice this later, okay? Where you just want to practice just gently. You don't want to use a lot of wrist. There are times when you do, but for right here, this needs to be surgical, right? So you want to have minimum action right here, just enough, right? Next string, next string, next string, okay, right? But we'll come back to that, right? But anyway, so what you want to do is you want to practice just resting the pick. And by the way, so like you want to have about this much showing. Look at that. Like you want to have about this much pick, okay, playing. Like you don't want to have all this, like that. No. Okay, and you don't want to really use this side, although you can, but it's like better if you have it so that this part right here, this part, you see that? This part right here is the one hitting the surface. Okay, right? And it's just minimal action. Okay, minimal action. Right? But now to play the chord as a chord, you just want to rest it here. Just rest this part right here on the open A, and just nice and easy, just go from top to bottom like this. Okay, if you can do this, well, actually like this, you're making music, right? And when you're just starting out, like you may go all the way down and hit the open E. Well, the E is actually muted in this case by my ring finger. Okay, so that's actually muted. But yeah, the action is just simply this. Okay, it's nice and easy. You're playing an A, an open A, and even if you have it muted, because your fingers aren't quite all the way down, right? If it sounds like this, it's likely because your fingers are not pressed all the way down on the fret. Okay, so make sure that they're pressed all the way down. So you can pause here, right, and just practice this. And if you have to practice this for hours, that's okay, right? Okay, because trust me, it's simple, as I said, but it isn't easy, right? It takes time. But this is the action, right? And then at some point, you'll be able to go like this. Right? But for now, and by the way, you might be wondering if it's okay if you hit the open E also. Well, there are times when that's okay, but generally the E makes the sound a little too dark, right? So, like it's going to take you a while to be able to do this once you start going like this without hitting the E, okay? And again, every so often, it's not the worst thing in the world, right? But some pieces, or some time, you really don't want this in there. Okay, so now pause it and then practice this. Right? Okay, so we were just practicing an A chord, right? Right here. And that was the A, and then the next string down, which is the D, which we fret at the second fret, and then the G string, which we fret also on the second fret, and then the B, which we also fret on the second fret. So our fingers are basically like this, right? Okay, right. But now we want to go to the D chord, and the reason that we're going to do a D is because blues is generally based, not all the time, but your basic blues is based around a 1-4-5 chord progression. So what that means is if A is the first chord, right, then we just count up 4 from A, and that takes us to D, right? So A, B, C, D. So it gets us to D. Now with D, we want our fingers like this. Well, so what you do is you take your index finger and you put it on the second fret also, on the G string, right? And then you take your, didn't mean to point that out, but take your middle finger, you put it on the high E string right here, okay, fret it, right? So that's here and here, right? Second fret E, second fret G. And and then you take your ring finger and you put that on the 3rd fret on the B. And by the way, all of these are all notes. We will at some point we will come show you, like, what all these notes are. But for now, okay, like, I just want to keep it very, very simple, right? But yes, so this is 2nd fret with your index, 3rd fret on the B with your ring, and 2nd fret once again on the high E with your middle finger. Okay. By the way, this is called a D finger position. Okay, so, like, you can play a D shape pretty much anywhere. Like, it could be up here, right? But the home is here as a D chord, right? So what you want to do? Oh, I forgot. And then you can either play it just these, or you can make it darker, heavier with the open D right here, and it'll sound like this, right? So the way you do that is you put your pick right here and just rest it here, and then just go down the same way that you did with the A, right? And if it's muted, that's okay. Just, practice getting your fingers right? And just practice it. Nice and easy, okay? And so the action would be from the A to the D, from the A to the D. So I see here that my storage is about to expire, so I'm gonna end it here, but I will come back. But in the interim, practice going from your A to your D, and hey, look, just nice and easy, very slowly. Don't rush it. Just try to get it clean. All right, nice and easy. All right then. Later. Thanks for watching.